progress.
Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem. Bruchim Abam. We're continuing Mishna Berura, Daf HaShavua. We're up to Siman and Gimel, Siv Chaf Beis. The Mechaber said, Shel Tzibbur b'sachar adav tfei min adava. A Shel Tzibbur that gets paid is better than if he does it for free. The Mishna Berura explained, because this way if he gets paid, no one could step in and say, I'll do it. But once it's up to, once the Tzibbur leaves it up to discretion, then somebody might step in and there's no way to push him out, there's no way to get him out. Anyway, you're not paying him. So it's a better policy for a shul to pay a Baal Tefillah. Furthermore, the Mishna Berura says, the Sheikh Tzibbur will do a much better job. That's the reality. If you pay someone, he'll do a better job. Because if you're not paying him, he'll think, okay, they're not paying me anyway. I won't be so careful with my voice 2 weeks before. I won't get such a good night's sleep before. I won't practice as much. Why do I need to practice? They're not paying me. But if you get paid, then a person says, hey, they're paying me. I better be careful. I better practice. I better prepare. So therefore, it is a wrong practice for a shul not to pay the Baalei Tefillah. Now, what if you could get a guy to do it for free? And then some of the Tzibbur says, no, we don't want a guy to do it. We want someone better and we'll pay him. And the poorer people in the shul say, well, fine, but I'm not paying for it because we could, let's use Yankel. Yankel will do it for free. You're allowed to force the Aniyim to pay for the better Baal Tefillah. Okay, so this is considered a need of the Tzibbur. We're up to the Ramah. Hagav, ve'in adam l'sfal b'lo ritzon hakol. No one's allowed to get up to the Amud without the consent of the people. Anyone who davens by pushing his way in, you don't answer amen to his brachos. Says the Mishna Berura, b'loi ratzain, be'ein la'adam l'hiskoited ba'avar shum mitzvah. One should not fight for any mitzvah. Kagoin galiloi sefer terchiyot sabai. No one should say, I want galila. Now that I haven't seen yet, but you should not fight for any mitzvah. Ve'ein the modest people, they sort of take a step back and they don't grab from the lechem apanim. The gluttonous people, they grab. So we see that when it comes to a mitzvah, a person should be more, even when it comes to a mitzvah, a person should be more modest and take a step back, if need be, in order to avoid strife. Upashad, the davkim mitzvah d'skami de'acher. It's pashad. That's only if someone else will do the mitzvah. Aval mitzvah tizbat gamri. But if it's not going to be performed, kugayin hachnasas orchim, ay hachzakas talmud Torah, like inviting guests or supporting Torah. V'yesh biyadai limchais, and you have the ability to protest. Bevadei mechuyev limchais. You're definitely obligated to protest kadei lahachzak hamitzvah, in order to strengthen the mitzvah. Sharei midina kaifin al inyanim ke'elu, because midin we force for these type of things. Kamavayar b'chaysh mishpat b'siman kuf samach gimel sif aleph b'haga b'soif siman gimel. Ein oinin we don't answer. Amen. She'ein zeh mavarich ela menoitz. A guy who forces his way up there, he's not making a blessing. It's a provocation. Shenemar boitzeya beirech nietz Hashem. A provocateur, somebody who illicitly gains and makes a bracha, is disgusting to God. In fact, the Gra says it's usher to answer amen. A guy who sort of forces his way up, you're not answer amen. Why? Because if he's davening without the consent of the tzibur, he's stealing. And if you answer amen, it's you're supporting stealing, right? The same way the United States of America sends money to terrorists, so they're supporting terrorists. So too, by answering amen to a guy who forces his way up to the tzibur, you're supporting terrorism at the Amud. So you can't support terrorism at the Amud. Okay, and not the best analogy, but that's the point. Okay, weiter. Sif Chav Gimel. Schar Shliach Tzibbur par mikubas hakal. How do you pay the Shliach Tzibbur? You pay it from the communal fund. Afal pisha shel tzibur moitzi hadal ka'asher. Even though the shliach tzibur is equally fulfilling a service both for the poor and the rich, so you'd say, why should you give it from the communal kupa? The kupa is 90% from the wealthy and 10% from the poor. If you're going to give from the kupa, it's not equally representative of the money of the kehillah. Nevertheless, the poor man can't afford like the rich man. Haga, the Rama has a compromised type of collection where it's 50% per person, 50% based on economic status. See, the way the Mechaber did it, it was totally based on economic status. And the Mechaber said that's fair, because, that's what people could afford. The Rama says, no. How is that fair? But the ani is being sustained as equally as the usher. So therefore we do some kind of compromise. 50% per head, 50% per financial ability. Which, by the way, is a very good practice in general when you're dealing with shuls, where sometimes people say, well, let the people have more money, pay for everything. And that's the way the Mechaber looks at it. And there's something to be said for that. Some people could afford, some people can't afford. The thing is, the people who could afford sometimes resent that. They have more money, but that's their mazel. And, why do they have to suffer because they have more money? So we tell them, look, truth is, everyone's paying. Everyone's paying. 50%, everyone's paying, poor or rich. But you have more money, so, the other 50% more. In other words, there's a certain logic, people who have more should pay more. There's a certain logic, everyone should pay equally. So you sort of have to, the way the Ramah looks at it, you got to balance both of those ideas. Okay, it says the Mishna Berura Subkan Samach Zayin Schar Shel Tzibur Siman Heisef Chaf Aleph Shapoisek Dechetzia Lefi Mamoin Vechetzia Lefi Nefesh. So it's a stira because the Mechaber himself says, like the Ramah says, 50% lefi your economics and 50% per person. Ayin b'sefer El Yorab shemachalik de b'chazan shani. A chazan is different. Now, what's the difference between a shliach tzibur and a chazan? Ayin sham bir agra mashma shemechaber chazer by pasuk sham b'hagash bekan. The gra is mashma. No, the mechaber changed his mind, and he goes like the Rama. But the chiluk of the Eliyah Rabbah is there's a difference between a chazan and a shliach tzibur. What would the difference be? It sounds like a chazan is like Pavarati. He has he knows how to sing. So the Dirshu brings that the Levush, the Taz and Eliyah Rabbah, so you ever notice that rich people like chazanos better than poor people? Why? I don't know. They have more time on their hands, so they need to do something. So they say, yeah, we really enjoy chazanos. Poor people, they got to work, so they're not forced to enjoying chazanos. I don't know, but or maybe you'll say a nicer way to look at it is the rich people, they enjoy the finer things in life. However you want to do it. I don't mean to be demeaning, but the bottom line is Ashirim enjoy. That's the facts. The wealthy enjoy the chazanim more. So therefore, here we're talking about a shliach tzibur. Shliach tzibur, the Mechaber says, is based on. I guess over here we're talking about a chazan. So chazan is based on economics. And Siman Nun Hey, let's take a look in Siman Nun Hey Siv Chaf Aleph. Oh, that's talking about something else. That's talking about hiring people to make a minyan. You hear this? That's what it's talking about. It's not over there. It's talking about if you're in an out-of-town community and you need to find a center. So who pays for the center? There, the Mechaber says it's half lefi nefashos. Why? Because there Everybody needs a minyan. A chazan, a rich guy needs a chazan more than a poor guy. Mikupas hakol shenigvus l'fi hamamin. The kupa of the kol is collected based on economics. Chetzioi, ki yesh svar la mishani tzarich l'chazan g'may asher. V'yesh levam shashim noisin yoser mam l'chazan shekalei arav yoser. Sometimes the wealthy give more to the chazan because he has a nicer voice. Also, gam sha'ani yachalei makam acher. An ani could go elsewhere. Al kain asu pshara zos. Therefore, they make this compromise. So, different than I was saying. I was saying, look, there's a svara that the wealthy should pay more than the poor. Why? Because they have more money. And there's a svara everyone should pay equally. No, the Mishna Berura is not bringing any svara. There's no svara that a guy should pay more just because he has more money. There's no svara that we should go to a guy, hey, we're building a shul. You have more money. You should give more. So where does it say I have to give more? That's not the svara. The svara is, according to this Mishna Berura, the wealthy enjoy chazanus more than the poor. The thing is, there's got to be another svara here. Why? Because we say the same thing by a minyan. And there by a minyan we don't say that a wealthy person needs a minyan more than a poor person. Although there we could say the poor person let the poor guy go to a different city. So even though it's not spelled out, again, we were saying that there's some kind of logic. You got more money, you should pay more. Mishna Berura here does not say that svara in terms of why 50% is lefi the economics. But it seems like there must be a svara like that because the same rationale applies regarding a minyan. Okay. Siv katan hey v'chein minig hakilas. B'daki mashikaz minig medina senu dal v'asher noisim mishava v'zeu ha'chetzir shilfi nefashos. Basically, a poor person and a rich person gives equally, and that's by head count. V'gam mikol nesuin magia loy kefi nadan v'lechetzer shvei mamain. And in every household, you pay based on the dowry you got, and that's based on how much money you have. Ulavush kasav de makom shein minog yigbu lefi mamain. Lavush says if there's no set custom, you collect based on economics. Ayin b'chosh mishpat siman kuf samach gimel sif gimel b'haga. Why? What does it say over there? In Choshen Mishpat, by the way, the Ramah says that you hire Shliach Tzibbur based on only money. So that's a stira. That's interesting. Because here the Ramah says Chatzi lefi mamain v'chatzi lefi nefashos. And in Choshen Mishpat the Ramah says it's totally lefi mamain. Here the Mechaber says it's totally lefi mamain. There's a svara we said that the mechaber would say lefi mamain here because the rich person enjoys the chazan more. But why does the Ramah in Hilchos Chazanos in Choshen Mishpat say it's totally for according to one's money? So the Machzas HaShekel says that the Pshadim, the Levush, and the Magen Avram is there's no stira. Then Choshen Mishpat we're talking about mitzad hadin. Mitzad hadin, it should be based on money. The chatzi lefi mama and chazi nefashos is mitzad haminhag, and that's how Rav Moshe learned. So it sounds like mitzad hadin, the wealthy should pay more than the poor. It's just a minhag to placate the rich, so they should feel like other people are participating. That we collect half lefi nefashos. V'ayin b'darkei Moshe the mashrei da afilu das hapoiskim the poiskim lefi mamain einen rak b'schir sashel tzibur shesoichen oisa liam naram. That's only a chazan for the high holy days. The bezes rilu lefi mamain ki ashir machvas asham lo yichol lotzis mi bateim lanicham rekam. Because a rich guy, you can't say, well, what you don't want to pay, go to another shul. Now he doesn't want to go, he wants to be in his place. So since he has to be there, he's going to pay. The poor could go to another city. But the daily shliach tzibur, then it's going to be at least partially lefi nefashos. Ein mechashven lefi mamayin levad. We don't do according to money alone. So it seems like there are three different chilukim. There's a shel Tzibbur for Yom Naram. There, the Ramah says here it's 50-50. The Mechaber says it's lefi mamayin. The Ramah says it's 50-50. But there's a svara that it should be lefi mamayin. First of all, the wealthy like the good voice better. The wealthy can't go anywhere else. If it's for a regular shliach tzibur during the year, it seems like we don't do lefi mammon alone, it's also lefi nefashos. When it comes to making a minyan, also we do partially lefi nefashos. Okay, we'll hold it over here, and we'll continue tomorrow in Siv Chav Daled. Have a good day, everyone. Bracha v'atzlacha. Have a good day.